Hello and welcome to Programming 2 for Southwestern. What I've done is I've created an example. Sorry about flipping the screens here. I've created an example for Chapter 8 that involves the input of one single string and also the input of strings over a line, or direct assignment. And that's from page 474 and from page 476. So we have two different examples all into one. So here's my page 470, I believe this is 476. This is our motto portion down here, right? And then from 474, this is our fried ants. So let me walk you through some of that. Some things that have to change in the beginning of our program. You'll notice that you have to include string right up here, otherwise the strings won't work. Additionally, when you go through, there's actually a number of ways to assign values to a string. Now, a way to think about a string is, we know we have an array, which is a series of the same data type. So it could be 10 numbers, 10 letters, things along those lines. And we could have an array of characters. Very similar to that, a string is basically an array of characters. If you think about it, you have a name or a word. It's an array of characters. So, you declare phrase as a string, and you declare adjective, noun, and wish as a string. But notice in these examples, they all assign the values differently. So adjective fried is assigned to adjective right after it's declared. Ants is assigned to noun right after it's declared. Bon appetit is assigned to wish right after it's declared. So each one of these are directly assigning it. Phrase is still waiting on something to be assigned. So here's my phrase value down here, I love plus adjective plus noun. So what I'm doing is I'm using what's known as string concatenation to combine everything together into one whole phrase. So it combines I love plus the value of adjective, which is fried, plus a space, plus the word noun, which is ants, plus an exclamation point to make a complete sentence. Then I'm going to see out what my phrase is, which I've just assigned here, and I'm going to see out my wish, which is right here. Right? So here's my wish, and I see it out. Here's my phrase, and I see it out. Right? And I'm going to actually take out. This is a way just to take in one word. It doesn't take in anything beyond the space. It only takes in one word. So and then I can, of course, see out my phrase because I'm going to assign over it. So let me go ahead and run it so we can see the first part. So there's my I love fried ants, which is the built phrase. Then it sees out the wish and the built phrase. Perfect. Now, see in my phrase, I'm going to do one word. Now, the reason I put the underbar underneath it is when you see in values this way, it doesn't see anything beyond the space. It only sees one word. So, I see one word. It's going to see out one word. Okay, not a big deal. Now, the next line, or the next series, is actually taking in string values over a space. So where it says, our motto is motto, please adjust it better, one-line motto. So what it's doing is, when it uses this line, get line, it's entirely different in the way it gets the data as opposed to simply a CN. The CN will take in everything up to the space. The get line will take everything up to the end of line character when I've pushed enter. So, let me go ahead and pull that back up here. Right here. Right? So I'm going to press my word to continue. It says, our motto is... apparently there was an extra space in there, and it used it. Let's try this again. Right. I'm going to just push F. Press any key to continue. And it takes in the space again. Hold on just a minute. So let me get rid of this and this. All right. Let's run this again. Okay. So it says, our motto is, your records are our records. Please suggest a better one-line motto. This is an example of getting an entire line. Now before, when it wasn't working, what was happening is is it anytime you take in values, especially in a string, you might take in, if you push your space bar or you put in values beyond the string, what it does is there's an input string, or excuse me, an input file stream, which is where the data comes from. So when it says, let's say, CN, where I have my CN right there, it's actually going to the input file stream. It's getting data in there, and if there's data in there, it pulls it out. If there's no data in there, it then asks the user, hey, I don't know what data is here, please give me data. Well, if you've input values before and they're still hanging around in that string, or in that stream, excuse me, it will then go get it. So what you have to do is you have to remember to use the cn.ignore. We talked about that 1 or 2 classes back. You have to use that cn.ignore to flush that out if that happens, because it's almost like asking for a question that it already has an answer for. So it's like, oh, I just got this data, I'm waiting to use it. They've asked me a question, now I'm going to use the data. Until there's no data there, it won't ask the user at all. So when I took those out, there's no extra data going into the input file stream or in the input stream. So as a result, it then is going to ask me. It says, this is an example of getting an entire line. Our new model will be, this is an example of getting an entire line. So let me do that one more time with a little less confusion. So I love fried ants. So there's my I love fried ants. Bon appetit. There's my wish. Our motto is, your records are our records. Our motto is whatever the motto is, which is assigned right here. It says, see out, please suggest a better one line. Please suggest a better one line motto. Then this demonstrates getting strings over a space in one line. Get line. There's our get line. So when I enter this an example of getting an entire line, it's actually going to take in everything in that line, the entire line, over all the spaces. If it was normal, just a normal CN, all it would take in is the word this, and all of this extra would be sitting in the in-file stream waiting to be used. So if I asked it another question, it would just go to the in-file stream and go, oh, space is what I need, or space is an example of getting an entire line, and then that would be the next value, and it would never ever asked us. So if it skips over a CN for you, you expect input, make sure to use the ignore function, the cn.ignore. So then we take it in. This is an example of getting an entire line. Our new motto will be whatever our motto is. Press any key to continue. Press any key to continue. Boom. Like that. So let me go ahead and run that one more time so you can kind of see it. So here's my first part. I love fried ants. I've declared it. I use string concatenation to put all the values in the word phrase. String concatenation is with that plus. Then I see out the word phrase. I love fried ants. Then I see out whatever wish is, which I have assigned to be bon appetit. And then I system pause it, which is right there. Now, I'm here. Our motto is, please suggest our motto, your records are our records. Motto is there. I've declared motto to be this right here. Right? Okay. So it has those values. Please suggest a better one-line motto. So this is a new one-line motto. That's the get line CN motto. So I'm getting a new motto, writing over the old one. Whatever the old value of motto was is going to be assigned. It's going to be written over, or whatever I put in right here. I push enter. Our new motto will be, this is a new one-line motto. Press any key to continue. All right. So your assignments for this particular chapter, I believe, are 4, 11, and 15. I sent a copy to your proctor. Strings are fairly easy to use, but you have to remember, keep in mind your cn.ignore. We talked about it before, which is also known as flushing the input file or the input stream. If you happen to have any issues, you're more than welcome to talk to me or actually talk to your proctor as well, John. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Have a good day.